Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, what's up, guys? Welcome to Road to Masters, brought to you by Paragon.gg. Joining me tonight is the gentleman trying to get to Masters, starting a brand new account. Trix for Kids. He's playing on his new account, Potato. How are you, Trix?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing well. A little bit tired, but overall pretty good. Excited to see up first this Muriel game, where you apparently like annihilated people, which is fantastic. We'll post the build and all that stuff for everybody, guys. We're gonna try and keep this to about an hour. Try and give you as many tips and tricks and whatnot as we can. Again, we're gonna do Muriel game first, following Trix around. Trix is gonna tell us why he did the things he did. So it'll be exciting. How was this game, man? You went like 8-1 or something like that. 8-1-10.
Yeah. A110. People told me it's impossible to carry as support in solo kilo elo. I wanted to see just how true that was.
Apparently, it's not true at all.
A little bit of an unorthodox build I used, but it worked out in the end, I think.
Well, I'm excited to see how this goes. Do you have the replay pulled up?
I've got the replay pulled up.
All right, guys, we're gonna jump right into this game in 3, 2, 1, and go. So you are playing Muriel, who is, would you say, the best support in the game right now?
Yeah, probably best support for solo queue.
Yeah, I mean,
I
so
just
we've seen in the past couple of weeks, we've seen blink charms become prevalent in a lot of builds, and I feel like that's hurt Decker with that long cooldown of her containment fence and the ability to just blink out of it now. I mean, is that true, or why do you say Muriel's the best right now in solo queue?
in solo queue, you can teleport across the maps and pretty much make sure that your teammates, they're typically not very smart. So if they make dumb plays, then you can turn them into potentially good plays. The AoE knock up the shield and just global pressure.
Yeah. Now that shield her reversal of fortune, her ultimate, early game it's a great like defensive ability, but late game it becomes this great engage. Like you can play her very offensively with this, get stuns and secure kills. I mean, is that the case? Is that something you find yourself doing with this particular hero? And you've already started out super aggressive onto this howitzer here.
Yeah, I'm just like, so I found that a lot of people don't subscribe to the same meta that you see people using in Agora's Rising or in higher MMR games. So we're doing a little preparation for the new map, I think, for the 2v1. And so I just walk up and start poking on the howitzer. He's used both of his health potions in lane, but at this point, and I've only used one, and I don't think the Murdoc's used any. So this should be pretty easy from this point on, because I can just keep poking him down with my Q and my auto attacks.
And you're going with health pot, mana pot, scouts ward. Again, this is a new account, so you don't have the luxury of having all of those one-cost cards or strike tokens and whatnot. You guys are going to kill this Sevarok here. Sevarok decided to jump out and just got deleted off of the map there.
Yeah, he cleared one white camp and then came to try to babysit the howitzer and then just didn't walk straight back to the tower. Just tried to juke autos and got killed. I saw the Narbash rotating out from mid, so I knew he was going to come over. So that's why I saw him coming into the shadow pad, because I was looking for it. Our mid laner pinged it or something.
Enemies missing. Such a great ping that's underutilized, guys. If you're in a lane and you're solo lane, and someone from your lane leaves, whether they're backing or whatever it may be, just enemies missing. Let the rest of your team know, because it could save a life. I mean, we're early game right now. You do have the Scouts Ward. I don't think you've placed it yet, but I mean, and a Scouts Ward, again, for those of you guys, wards saves lives. Even if it's not a Shadow Ward, early game Scout Ward, you can see that rotation coming from a jungler here. So you guys are, I mean, you guys are, again, being hyper aggressive. This is kind of what we saw from your gameplay last week. Confident in your abilities, keep these lanes pushed out, trying to get it pushed under the tower to deny them farm, correct?
Yeah, people just don't know how to. People don't know how to play around the aggression. Your lane's always gonna push if you're auto attacking the enemies, because enemy creeps will aggro to you, which means they're not killing your creeps while your creeps are still killing theirs. So it'll push over eventually. Their Narvash has circlet of health, I think. So no health potions means he doesn't have any burst healing. It's just all over time. So I know if I chunk him out really hard, he has to play really far back. And since he's a melee, that means he's not putting any pressure on my Murdoch, which means he's just farming for free. Which is really good because that's what Murdoch wants to do for the most part.
Yeah, make sure he's securing those last hits, give himself that advantage. Which right now, I mean, we're 4 minutes in. He's at 9 last hits. That killing that secure on the Sevarog definitely helped give him a little bit of a boost there. But so I want to talk about last hitting. We saw with the last patch, not the Countess patch, the patch before that, they changed the way the minion health bars worked. Do you think it's easier to last hit now than it was before because it shows their health a little bit differently? Or do you see people having a lot of trouble with last hits?
Personally, I found it to be easier since the change. I think they nerfed minion to minion damage a little bit.
Yeah.
So it makes it easier to secure last hits, especially if you're lacking things like early game cast strike tokens, which is a pretty big issue if you wanted to play someone like TB, who I think hits for like 25 level 1 with no strike tokens.
Right. What do you have any hints or tips for last hitting? I mean, like, what are you looking for? Is there a certain health you're looking at? Is there I mean, how are you knowing when to shoot to get that last hit other than practice?
I mean, so you can kind of, after you fire a few auto attacks early game, or you play the character enough, you know generally like how much health you're gonna take away from a minion.
Right.
So it's just timing and seeing which creeps are taking damage, and hopefully like if you can look and you can notice like, okay, like this creep's taking like X amount of damage per second. Like watch how far their health bar is going down, and then make sure that your auto attack hits right when they get low enough that you can last hit. Because if you time it too early, then you're gonna take the minion health down, and then your minions are gonna kill it. If you're too late, it'll already be dead.
Yeah, giving out valuable experience there. So your first back, I mean, that's a howitzer ultimate, and you were already knowing he's gonna go backwards, so already on top of him being very aggressive. You're a little bit behind when it comes to experience, but your card level's up there. Being a Muriel, you're not building damage. So I mean, this is you're able to secure that kill, but right off the bat you picked up a circlet of health, which gives you mana and grants 4.2 health regen to allies, to yourself and nearby allies. You also picked up that Sage Ward. Again, guys, wards so important, and Shepherd's File. So I mean, what were the reasons behind picking up the circlet of health and the Shepherd's File?
Basically, it's just a bunch of bonus regen for my teammates, since generally they'll do things that are kind of questionable, take bad trades, or take maybe a little bit too much minion aggro, like fighting people.
Right.
So I picked those up, and then Sage's Word, or not Sage's Word, Shepherd's File acts like a second mana potion too as well. And since I'm spamming spells a lot, I'm queuing the howitzer basically on cooldown whenever I get the chance. Because he started Chronotonic, which isn't necessarily a good replacement for actual health potion.
Right.
So with that extra mana, that regen, since howitzer does have like decently strong poke. So if my Murdoch takes bad trades or whatever, or maybe gets full comboed or sev ganked, then it'll help out a little bit.
Why'd you go Sage's Ward over like a Lord's Ward?
Because this is gonna carry Muriel build.
Because he's carrying Muriel Infinity Turd. He's gonna go damage and he's gonna wreck face. That's what's happening right now. So you are picking up a little bit of damage.
This is my assassin build.
Assassin Muriel. Grant, is that you?
No.
So hyper aggressive. I mean, you are level 5. You do have ultimate online now, so you can start rotating to help your team. We are starting to see Drive Murdoch come up behind this character here. I mean, this guy, he's pushed very far forward. There's no wards on the map. He's put himself in a really bad position. He's going to try and ult to save himself. Ults. Really brilliant ults out of both characters there. Drive just decided to take the full bombardment, and you just run in and secure the kill there.
See, now my circle of health and my Shepherd's File, if I decide to pop Shepherd's File here, will make sure that since my Murdoch decided to stand still inside the full duration of the howitzer ult, that he gets back to full health quicker.
So, I mean, I'm guessing you don't want your teammates to stand in the full duration of a howitzer ult, if I had to guess.
Yeah, it's typically not something you want to do, but I mean, maybe he knows something I don't. He does die right here, so.
Reversal Fortune came out. I mean, he's getting just picked apart. He's getting minion damage on top of damage from Sev and Narbash. Hit him with the thunk. He's not gonna look at those body block skills.
I tried, man. I think I missed my E shield, which was kind of sad.
So
But
Narbash is pretty low here. He is going to be able to boost away. You do have the poke to secure the kill on him. Is that 3-0? Guys, this is a 3-0 Muriel right now. 9 minutes into the game.
Yeah, so it's a bit sad that my support Murdoch died there, but I stayed alive, which was the important thing. I managed to pick up a kill out of it.
So this is not with the build you're going to go here. I mean, this isn't the way you would normally build a Muriel if you're going that full support build. We know you're trying to climb to get out of lower elos up to those higher elos. Is this a build you've done before, or was this a build? Because I know I've done builds where if I'm streaming, my chat's like, "Hey, do this." Was this a build you've used on Muriel in the past, or was this something your chat or people wanted to see?
I mean, this was close to a legit build in V27. V27 was they buffed casters and changed minions around,
right.
So you would see a lot of full damage deckers, things like that. My Murdoch's coming around for the gank, so this should be an easy kill, but he walks right into the howitzer mine, which was really sad. If he had just came around behind, that would have been a free kill.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is something my chat said. They said to do crit Muriel, so I did put a little bit of crit chance in the deck, but not enough to maybe warrant calling it a crit deck.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's when casters were the strongest. When casters were OP. Guys, when you back in lane like that, sometimes minions will hit you and stop the back. Like we just saw there.
I was hoping my Murdoch would
Step up.
walk forward a little bit. And right here, like, I'm really close to having my level up, so I'm like, okay, as long as my Murdoch gets 2 last hits, I'll be able to back with 18 points. He doesn't get those 2 last hits, so I back with only 15.
Perfect. That is 2 last hits. Somebody touch a harvester, please.
Nope, well.
Nope, the harvester's not going to happen.
I upgrade my Sage's Ward and pick up a little bit of attack speed.
So Sage's Ward, we've got 2 lesser healths and a minor cast, so you're sitting at 300 health and 19.5 energy. And then we've got a Whirling Wand on Muriel, guys, so we've got a little bit of attack speed and some more energy damage as well. Still has that support from his Circlet of Health and Shepherd's File.
I mean, and you got the shields too, so you're bringing the utility.
Right.
It's just
You're going a little bit more damage.
You know, if your team doesn't press tab, they don't know that you're carry assassin Muriel. They just think that the support's taking all the kills.
You're just amazing at what you're doing right now. So picking up the red buff, I'm assuming you're doing this because Murdoch, you're going to give it to Murdoch?
I'm the carry. I want the red buff.
He's taking the red buff, guys. Unorthodox play.
Dick Chimera takes it. I was pretty upset about this. Typically, if you're a jungler, you want to give a red buff to your carry.
So as a person who's played the game for a very long time, when I see Muriel, I don't immediately assume carry Muriel. I don't assume the assassin crit damage in your face Muriel build.
Well, I'm 3-0, man.
I mean, that's true, but you could just be securing the kills with air quotes around the securing the kills part. So you guys are going to get aggressive again. Aggressive again on this howitzer. Again, overextending. No wards, guys. Wards save lives. He's being caught out with no vision. He's got nothing here in the jungle. Is that you that's unstoppable?
Yeah, that's me. That's unstoppable. That's like the 3rd time somebody just walked up behind him and killed him.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if he has any wards anywhere. There's no wards in this jungle, guys. So he is just susceptible to any type of gank. And with a Chimera, I would not risk that. So they are going to pick up this tower here. Don't have the black buff. It will fall, though. You've got 20+ seconds. The rotation from Sevarog is going to be a little bit late. You are sitting at 21 card power right now, so I think if you back again, you've got 6 Are you upgrading this whirling wand with attack speed and damage when you back? Is that what's happening?
I think there's a little bit of attack speed that's in it. Basically, my Chimera was taking black buff while we were pushing on the tower, and then we saw the Narbash looking at him while we had mid lane at half. So it's like the Belica could easily collapse. The Chimera's right there. I don't know what the Narbash was doing. Like he was in such a bad spot.
Yeah, easy gank. Easy gank. Are you guys gonna? So I mean, you've got 4 people here, 4 versus 2. You've got a minion wave in your favor. You still have ultimate online. You're actually gonna use that now.
Yeah, you can see me. I'm standing still because I was under the impression that they were fighting in this lane because the health bars were on top of one another.
Right. So they're just securing minion kills.
Yeah, jokes on me, dude. They were. I got pranked.
He got pranked, guys. He was trying to ult and save his team, but nothing happens here. So he's now going to hang out in blue lane for a bit. There is going to be that tons of damage coming out of Countess, the newest hero in the game here. Did you get that kill as well?
I'm the carry. Of course I got the kill.
You did get that kill. 5-0-2, guys. 14 minutes into the game. They don't have a minion wave to push this tower here, so they're going to back off. Mid lane, though, we do have teams fighting over here. They're going to secure a kill on the Murdoch. Valhalla has got to be careful. Excuse me. She overstayed her welcome. I do think she's going to end up falling here.
It's a shame I don't have ult for mid lane.
It is a shame you don't have ult for mid lane. That's sometimes what happened when you use that ult. Unfortunately, someone is going to fall. Banana Pitman is going to try and get away over here. And meanwhile, you've backed. You're now spending points. You have upgraded your Whirling Wand with a major cast. A major cast, a cast, and a minor kinetic, just a little bit of attack speed. And you've picked up the Nirvana Stone with mana regen so far. Is mana regen something you build on, Muriel?
Not typically, no, definitely not. But I needed a crit item, and I think Nirvana Stone, it's such a good card. It offers 3 amazing stats. It gives you the crit chance, it gives you the mana regen, it gives you the health regen.
So do you think, a lot of people will say mana regen and health regen is lacking. Is that something you agree with? Do you think they're a little bit too weak to build heroes that way?
Yeah, the stats are this card's probably the worst card in the game. Are tied with the worst card in the game with like Gift of the Rains.
Right.
It's really bad.
Another ultimate coming out here. Who do you assume is fighting? Oh, you're just queued up, looking all beautiful, like an angel.
Yeah. Well, I see 2 people in the left lane against my Countess, and I'm just waiting for like the thunk ult combo.
Right.
Like something to happen, and then I see her go in, like a big chunk of health goes down, so I just ult on top of her, and then we can fight, and then it's easy kills because the Belica comes over as well.
Yeah. So a bit of aggression there out of, again, the rest of your team. That's one of those things about those that ultimate is that it can be used, I think, more than just one way. You can use it to help save, but you can also be a little bit aggressive with it. So get a knock-up. That knock-up is huge, and help secure some kills here. Are you guys able to push this tower down, or are we not at that point yet?
I think I just rotate out and go to mid lane. But like the biggest thing about Muriel is to not ult into 5 people on the enemy team.
Right.
Because like if you're Muriel, you're the support. You want to save everybody because you're a shield lady. But your shields are not gonna stop the damage of the entire enemy team from killing your teammate that decided he wanted to walk in their jungle with no vision and no health.
Right. So a 1v5 situation is not the best time to ult in and try and turn a fight. So Narbash, again, no wards, guys. This enemy team is not using wards at all. We've got damage on Muriel. They're able to pick up and secure that kill. Severdog tries to land the root. Unfortunately, he's going to miss here. You are taking a bit of damage. You don't have any much resistance or health build up here. But you do have shields. Trying to juke and jive.
There we go. Red buff's a fun mechanic, though. Let me tell you.
Red buff, best card in the game. And good rotation from your team, able to help secure that kill there and keep you alive with less than 100 health. So, yeah, well done there. This should be a free tower. I mean, as of this point. Low, you're going to back. You've got 24 spent out of 30. So let's see what you pick up here.
Yeah, I finished upgrading my Nirvana Stone. I get some crit strike. I think I pick up a Staff of Adamant, and then since I'm floating 1 point, I put a point of mana into my Circle of Health, just so I'm not floating points around.
Right.
If you have cards that don't get fully upgraded bonuses, typically you don't want to put stats into them. So you can just use them as kind of sinks for if you have. So once you fill out your slots and you have to sell your potions, like typically that 1 point will go somewhere else, or a lot of people just leave it floating. I like to just put one point of mana into my Circle of Health because I'm not going to fully upgrade it, but I want to keep it for as long as I can because the card has amazing value. It gives so much regen to your teammates.
Yeah, 4.2 is actually, I mean, that's not a terrible. Yes, regen and mana regen are pretty weak as it is, but 4.2 for just picking up a card is not a terrible way to help support your team, especially if they have health pots or on top of your bubble and whatnot. That can keep them in the fight just 1 or 2 seconds longer and help secure a kill. So you do pick up the Staff of Adamant again, guys. This is more of an aggressive damage built Muriel. So he's picking up the energy and health, energy damage and health. He is going to ult to, who did you ult to? Oh, there she is. To Belica.
She was in a little bit of a pickle.
Chimera's going to rotate over. I mean, this jungler doesn't seem terrible for this level right here. He's going to jump in, ult, help secure that kill on the Twin Blast there. He is under the tower. He's got to be careful. You do have bubbles, speed boosts, and whatnot. There's a good stun out of Belica there. And Potato, I mean, you're hyper aggressive on this Muriel. I have not seen Muriel play like this. There will be a disclaimer with this game. There absolutely will be a disclaimer with this game.
Yeah, it's right here. My team doesn't peel for the carry, and I die. Oh. It's really a shame.
First death of the game. I gotta give it to that Sevarog ultimate knocking you into the tower there, buddy.
Yeah, if my Murdoch hadn't missed the laser, that wouldn't have happened because we wouldn't be standing in front of the tower trying to kill the Narbash. So, miss your lasers, or else your carry Muriel will die.
Or your carry Muriel, which you'll see one every 100 games. This isn't a build we're going to see on Muriel. This isn't a playstyle we'll see with Muriel when you start getting to that higher MMR and higher elo. I mean, this is something right now where you can do, because you're a little bit lower, you have that ability to be a little bit more aggressive. And again, we talked last week, Trix doesn't expect his team to do anything. And so this gives him that ability to help secure those kills and be a tad bit more aggressive, while still giving his team that utility and support they need with speed boost, bubble, and that amazing ultimate reversal of fortune.
Yeah. So the biggest thing about it is that, like, I played carry for like a really long time when I first started playing this game.
Right.
So I'm confident that even though Muriel has really bad base auto attack damage, attack speed, and damage scaling on her auto attacks, I'm pretty confident that I could probably outbox any reasonably not super fed carry.
Right.
With Muriel, between like the combination of her slow and her shields doing, like, her Q does a lot of damage.
Yes, it does.
If you build damage.
Right.
And then the shield does decent damage, and then the speed boost makes it really hard to hit her. So it's like, I'm pretty confident in my ability to like 1v1 like someone like a Murdoch or something like that. So like that's part of the reason I'm doing this. I did try like earlier in the day like a traditional like full tank support Muriel build, but since I don't have Satori Cloak, I'm getting maybe not as much value out of it as I could.
And Satori Cloak, is that a card you would normally run on a Muriel? Is that not something you would prefer on a frontline hero like your Greystones and whatnot? I mean, can you get a lot of value out of that being Muriel?
Oh yeah, you can being Muriel, you can definitely get a lot of value out of it. You're gonna hit an auto attack on somebody eventually. Since you're in the back line, usually you'll be auto tagging the tank who you want to get Satori Cloak on anyways. Like you want to have that effect active on the enemy front line, which is usually who you're going to be hitting. Whereas if you're someone like a Greystone, typically you're doing things like diving the back line. You're not going to be actively engaging the opposing tank.
Right.
So since carries are just building a lot of health now, you're not going to be getting as much value out of it necessarily as you would if you're actually like in the back line, unless you choose to play that way. But if you're Greystone, typically you want to dive because the potential for peeling is very low because you don't actually have any CC.
Right.
Here I want to take Prime, and my Chimera is just adamant that we don't do it. So I think like here I'm like, if I just start it, they'll rotate and come.
I mean,
Boy, was I wrong.
That is wishful thinking, my friend.
Most people are like, most people see it and they're like, oh, like we're doing Prime now, like let me just collapse. Like my Murdoch could come and we could take it, but he doesn't. He just stands mid lane, or my Countess, or really anybody that's not just Belica.
You guys had the advantage with the kills, kill secured, and lanes pushed in your favor. You can see on the mini map people are kind of spread out. This would have been an easy Prime 24 minutes into the game, but like you said, nobody rotates here. Again, guys, this is just a tip for anybody in general. Whether you agree with the call or not, if you notice 3 of your team, 2 of your team doing something, maybe you should help them because maybe something good comes out of it. You may not personally agree with it, but it may be the right call. So again, we've got a reversal of fortune out here onto Belica, just to get you back in this team fight and try and help push these lanes out a bit. Bombardment coming out of Howitzer here. Not sure why. Zoning, I guess? I mean,
zoning ults are good. The thing about like that is they pushed lanes and then they ended up getting nothing for it anyway. So it's like if they had just come to Prime, we would have taken Prime. Like when we're just we're in the same spot that we would have been in right now, except we don't have OP buff.
Right. So yeah, you may not always agree with what your team is doing, but
that Sevarog though was really good.
Yeah, great knockback right there. Root into the knockback, able to secure that kill with the Narbash. You may not always agree with what your team is doing, but if you help them, it can benefit your team more. Banana Pit Man rotating behind, picking up that kill on Countess.
Well, he was doing the Assassin Chimera build. This is amazing. We have 2 assassins on this team. This is crazy.
That charging brute, so good.
That's not a great card, honestly, guys. Charging brute is not a great. I played on this account for like 8 hours. I saw some innovative stuff, and I want to encourage everybody to not do innovative things. Just do the meta builds until you understand why the meta builds work and why they are the meta. I've seen some things. I saw like I don't even know. I saw like a Sparrow do like the divine shield item first, the one that gives you armor when you're stunned. And it's like
that's a weird one.
Yeah, it was a really weird one. I see a lot of people. I actually saw a Sparrow go 3 Wind Carver Blades, which is not a bad build. 3 Wind Carver Blades, not a bad build. 3 Wind Carver Blades stacked with only kinetic, terrible build.
That's a terrible build.
Really fucking bad.
You're not getting any value out of that with the lack of damage at all. Guys, Charging Brute I think is going to be a great card on the new map. You put yourself in kind of a weird position here.
I mean, the Howitzer saved me, so it's fine. I mean, his choice was to save me and let me leave or die because I was gonna kill him.
39 health.
It wasn't even close. It was all calculated.
All calculated, guys. You hear that right there, Trix? Calculated that. He lives. So we got Dying Bunny pushing mid lane. You're gonna back. You do have card power to spend, just 3.
Yeah, and I've got my ult too, so like I can just come back into the fight whenever.
Yeah.
That's like the really good thing about Muriel too, is that you can apply map pressure even though your wave clear's pretty pretty bad. Like let's be honest.
It's not the greatest.
But you can just ult in whenever, and then you can back and then ult out of base. Like your team can constantly apply pressure without you because like you can just be wherever. I thought they were gonna fight, so I'm just like I'm sitting here waiting for somebody to go in. Nobody goes in.
Just biding his time, guys. He knows a thing is going to happen at some point. So we're taking a look at the build. He finished up a Staff of Adamant with 2 major casts and greater health. Again, guys, this is a damage Muriel, what you're witnessing right now. Another Whirling Wand with a bit of attack speed. And she scales like a caster. So abilities will do significant amount of damage if you build damage. Same with Narbash and his Thunk or Thud. It does quite a bit of damage. So nobody is zoning this, but other than you, nobody is zoning this Orb Prime.
So I just have to zone in 3 people. 2 ults come out, and then I manage just to hero P buff with my left click. Because that's the thing that can happen in this game, because there's not a smite or a hand of God if you play those other MOBAs.
That was almost given up. Just a quick tip right there, guys. If you guys are getting the OP buff and everybody's alive, put one of your frontliners, put a tankier character up there to zone that out. So you're not running into that situation where you could possibly get it stolen, because that was almost a stolen orb prime right there. So you are going to end up winning this match. You went 8-1-10. Guys, a very unorthodox build coming out of Trix right here. That damage Muriel build. We're going to see, you're going to see more of the traditional tanky type builds in your rounds. But again, Trix is a skilled player. He's working his way back up to Masters. And that's going to be an easy win for him right there. We're going to jump into the second game, which is actually...
Someone said I was KSing, man. They weren't watching the same replay we were.
They missed it. They missed the replay. We're going to jump into a second game here. He's actually playing Countess. Stick to the meta builds, and he builds a damage Muriel.
No. It's different. You guys stick to the meta builds. You guys.
So you're playing
innovation to someone else.
Leave the innovation to skilled players. That's not, I mean, yes and no.
I mean, you can innovate. Just ask yourself why. So it's like, if you want to do like a build that's not like something standard, just ask yourself why. And then if you can't come up with an answer, you probably shouldn't do it. So it's like if you want to build 3 wind carvers with all 3 cost kinetics, ask yourself why. You don't have any damage built. I just don't understand sometimes. But this Countess game, this character is really good at killing people, man. This
character is fantastic at killing people. I'm interested to see actually how you play this hero. This hero is brand new. This hero just entered the game on Tuesday. So she's the newest burst caster assassin. She does a ton of damage. So I'm interested to see where you get her build, how you play this hero. I've got the replay loaded up. How about you, my friend?
I have the replay loaded up.
All right, guys, we're going to jump right into a game number 2. Trix is going to be playing the newest hero, Countess. And 3, 2, 1, and go.
All right. So I go to, I go to the solo blue lane, which is one of the 2 places I think you should play her. Either blue lane or mid. I think she's really, really bad in jungle.
Yes, I will agree.
Her jungle clear early game is pretty terrible, like, honestly. And she's got issues with mana and sustain early game. So it's pretty rough, like, clearing early. So I'm doing creep blocking because I don't actually know who I'm going to be laning against. It does end up being the Grim, which is weird because typically carries go red lane with a support, so you can apply more pressure to black buff. But they decide to put the Grim solo lane, which, I mean, ranged melee matchups are pretty rough in this game if you know how to play them. But I think Countess actually deals well with it. Her E does so much damage to creeps, and then as soon as you get her right click, she's got like infinity sustain. So I don't actually know where their jungler is. I'm like fully expecting to be cheesed or something. So I'm playing really far back. So I let him. So since I did the creep block and he's auto tagging the minions actively, the wave pushes back to my tower, which is where I want it to be, because now even if the jungler comes, the chances of me dying are very, very low. They have a Fang and they have a Quang, so like I could be ganked potentially by 2 people. So it's a really weird spot for me, because we see the Quang going to gank for the Countess. We see the Fang Mal coming over to blue side. We have a typical meta setup with like solo blue, solo mid, like carry support off lane, and they're running some shenaniganery.
So this is going to allow you to push up underneath. You've picked up a health pot, mana pot, and a strike token. Again, she's a physical hero. Her mana consumption is incredibly high. Right off the bat, you leveled up her E for that insane lane clear, and then you went into the right mouse button which if you get a last hit with any last hit, you will restore 1% health if you kill a minion, and it's 10% health if you kill a hero, and when it's maxed out, it's an additional 40%, or it's up to 40% is what she can actually heal. So she has great sustain when it comes to health when you get later into this game. So your goal here is to get 5 first. You're in a situation, if this was a fighter, if this was Quang in this lane, you would have a bit of an issue, because basic attacks don't cost 10.
Yeah, that's basically my goal here is to just get as many last hits as I can, because she scales really well with cards, and she is an assassin. Her scalings are ridiculously high, and I can just use my E on the creeps and kind of push the wave a little bit. It does a lot of damage to Grim over time, but it does cost a ton of mana.
Yeah, it's a lot of mana. Now, laning up against a Grim here, who is focusing more on minions than he is attacking you. He's got this wonderful ability where he can bubble and basically negate damage from you. Were you running into this hero doing that a lot? Trying to stop you from ulting or whatever it may be. And that is a quick kill onto Fang Mao, who rotated over, not realizing he was dealing with Countess. You Q'd to him, then hit him with that E, and deleted him off the map. Good rotation coming out of Grux. There is the bubble. He's going to dodge the smash and grab. You're getting pretty aggressive. Underneath the tower, there was the slow. He doesn't have an ultimate, so you're going to be okay and back out. But you've got 6 card power to spend. Push this lane out and then back. I mean, with this hero in the blue lane, so we talked about it early. She's not a great jungler, but she's fantastic in this blue lane. What is the big thing you're worried about as this hero solo lane like this?
In this lane, biggest thing is just getting camped. If Countess, like if the Fang Mao doesn't run into your creep wave at incredibly low health, you're probably gonna have a rough time dealing with ganks. Her mobility is pretty low because she can only dash to an enemy, which means her escape options are super limited compared to someone like Fang Mao or Greystone, who can just dash forward to wherever they want. She has no CC in her kit aside from the stun on her ultimate, so she can't stun someone and leave like maybe like a Sevarog can.
Right.
So dealing with ganks is definitely her biggest weakness. But once I get card power, like I know Grim is a squishy character, so once I get to the ability where I have my ult and I have those cards to do something, I'm pretty confident in my ability to just kind of go on him and kill him.
So Q'd in, and such a great ability. He Q'd in, he had time to hit his Q again, which actually teleports you back to where you were when you originally used it. Angels is trying to do some damage here, but he is just going to back off. So you picked up, your first back, you picked up a Brawler's Ward for the physical damage and the mana, and you also picked up an Adamant Edge for the physical damage and the health. So you've given yourself just a little bit more survivability in that lane here. Yes, it's only 100 health, but 100 health on a squishy character is a good chunk of health early game right now. So you're pushed up under the tower. Great lane clear out of this hero with her E. Absolutely some of the best lane clear in the game, I would say, especially once you get that card power. But very mana hungry. You're not really relying on your team you just want them to survive at this point. As a solo laner, playing a hero in that solo lane, is there a typical amount of time you like to farm? Are you waiting for this tower to push down the tower or lose your tower? Like, how long do you plan on staying in this lane? I've heard some people say 15 minutes and then you start rotating, but is there a certain metric you're waiting for before you want to leave this lane?
There's not a metric. It's just with Countess, like right here, I know I have like huge kill potential, so I take advantage of that. But typically, I would wait to be aggressive until I see their jungler somewhere, or until I'm like really sure that I can actually be aggressive in the lane and not get collapsed on. Because the last thing you want to do is like shove up your lane and then go like invade enemy jungle and then just walk right into their jungler, get collapsed on and die.
Right.
So it's not really a timing thing. It's just more as the situation presents itself.
Okay.
I'll go aggressive or I won't go aggressive.
I mean, so you're easily securing that kill onto Grim there. He tried to shield it, but unfortunately, you waited, picked up the kill. You're going to back with some card power here, and you are going to pick up 1-cost strikes and a 1-cost lesser health for your adamant edge to give yourself that damage, and again, extra health.
Yeah. So I'm maxing my right click second. The biggest thing about picking up health is that her right click scales off of her max health, which is ridiculous. So the more health you have, the more you're healing. And then, so right now, if I kill Grim again or anybody, I'll get 20% of my max health back instantly.
Right.
And if I'm last hitting, I'll get 2%. So if I get every last hit in a wave, that's 4 minions on a normal wave. That's 8% of my health. That's ridiculous.
Yeah. For not doing anything but making sure you're last hitting.
You get so rewarded for just doing what you're supposed to do anyways.
So I've played this character a bunch, and I didn't even realize that her health, her right mouse scaled off her overall health. Be completely honest, didn't pay that much attention to it at all. I build health on her because that's just, I feel, the way you have to build her. But so let's talk about Countess for a minute as you are continuing to push this lane out here. I've seen
This poor Grim.
this poor Grim just getting picked on.
There's nothing he can do once he uses his knockback. There's nothing he can do. You're not getting away.
So
And I don't think you can shield. I don't think you can shield the Countess ult on reaction.
I think it has to be something where you just shield it and pray to God you instantly ult.
Yeah, I think that's it. So I can pretty much indefinitely wait.
Yeah, it's because it's not once. I think once her animation goes off, you can't use abilities. So if she lands that ult, if you haven't already pre-bubbled, you're taking full damage of that. So we are going to see a rotation here. She's obviously hasn't done.
That Countess ult did nothing.
Did 0 damage to you. She's only at 6 card power right now. I'm assuming she's jungling. What is this Countess doing? Level 5.
She was laning against the Narbash and the Murdoch at the start of the game, but they're playing musical lanes, man.
Yeah, there's a lot of rotations going on here. So you've picked up, you've backed again, 12 of 18 card power. You've got 3 very easy kills. That first one on Fang Mao, who came out below half health. 2 quick kills onto Grim, and you're upgrading your Brawler's Ward now with mana. You put in a 2-cost mana and a basic mana. That leaves you with 3 points to spend, and you pick up another Adamant's Edge here. So you've given yourself the mana, you've given yourself some more physical damage and some more health, and you're getting back to the lane. Right now you're at 38 last hits and 18 card power, most farmed on the map as of this moment in time. But so with this hero, what's kind of your build with her? I mean, you're going health and damage with mana? Are you going like a glass cannon build, or do you build a little bit of resistance as you get into the later game?
I think I pick up resistance later game, but for the early game, just health and mana is so good. Like I said, her right mouse button, the healing scales with max health. So if you just pick up a ton of health, like you'll pretty much never die. Especially like once you start snowballing like this, like you're like when you get far enough ahead, like there's just nothing anybody can do. Like, look, I hit the girl with my E. That's like a fifth of his health gone already. Like one ability, like the fifth of his health is gone.
Yeah.
What other character can just that? This is ridiculous.
There's not one in the game that can do that, unless they're using an ultimate.
I just go straight on him, and all of his health disappears.
So he negates the damage with your E, but that ultimate plus your right mouse and just one basic attack, he's going to fall there. So since she's actually classified as a caster, her basic attack damage is really lacking. She doesn't scale very well that way, but her ability damage is through the roof. So it's all about comboing her abilities with this hero, making sure you're able to combo that Q, E, Alt, and right mouse button. So again, you've picked up another kill. You've 1 amber away from picking up another card level here.
Yeah, so let's go hit the harvester real quick to
Yeah.
get the card power. I'm not trying to kill the harvester here. It's just the fastest way to get the CP I need. I think I back and pick up just like more damage into my adamant edge. Yeah, that's what I pick up.
Yeah,
So
a major strike. So
it kind of sucks that I have to back with only 3 card points, but Like I wasn't gonna do anything staying out in lane. Like I was really low mana because I used all of my abilities on Grim, which I think is probably this character's biggest weakness is that you have to back frequently if you are like actually killing people because she's super mana hungry.
Yeah.
But you don't want to pick up like too much. If you go straight into mana, you won't do any damage. In which case, like your assassin doesn't do any damage. But if you go straight into damage, then you also can't wave clear, which is a big part of this game as well. So there's a very fine line of like how much mana you need versus how much damage versus how much health, because you don't want to be like full glass cannon either, because there's a lot of other countesses in this game.
Right.
And you end up with a countess be countess, and then
You can also pick up the blue buff, which gives you extra mana and a little bit of cooldown reduction. Which I think right now you're 13 minutes into this game. You've got this lane pushed out. You're pretty well farmed. When do you start? I was gonna say invading the enemy jungle here with this lane pushed out. Is that something, having this big of an advantage? Is that something you would recommend doing? Is invading enemy jungle, trying to secure some of that extra farm?
yeah, putting down vision. The thing about Countess is that I can just split push, honestly, like, because if anybody comes and tries to deal with me, they die, like the Grim has 3 times already.
Yeah.
It's like he's walked into lane and then I hit him with one ability and then he just dies. It's really sad.
Poor Grim.
So I'm waiting for the Gideon to throw out an ability, and then I just jump straight. I go straight on him, but I don't Q because I know he has his teleport. So as soon as he teleports, I can blink to him and then throw down everything. I wait for his ult to ult so I can cancel it, and then gadget advantage to secure the kill somehow.
Got it.
I mean, a kill's a kill. That's nice.
A kill is a kill.
I would have preferred to have it, but it's actually no big deal. And this is what I was talking about earlier, where I said her early game jungle clear is really bad, but like later game, like these camps are level 3, so they have a lot of health, but I'm clearing them just fine. But it's still it costs so much mana to clear.
Yeah. It's not like you're just walking in and auto attacking with your Grux or Chimera.
Her basic attacks are so bad, so you have to use abilities to clear.
Yeah. And again, that's because she's classified as a burst caster, so the scaling on her basic attacks are incredibly low. It's like a Gideon or Gadget.
Yeah, like you wouldn't do Gideon jungle, so I don't know why people think Countess is a good jungler.
Right. If she had scaled like a fighter, you could absolutely jungle this hero, but
Dude,
she
if
doesn't.
Scaled like a fighter, she'd be so OP.
She would be insanely broken.
Because she'd be so much tankier too.
Yeah.
Like that would. Oh man, that would be so fun to play against, dude.
When we were at Epic, I thought for sure she was a fighter.
Oh, I'm so glad she's not.
And she was super broken at Epic, so I know a lot of her kit has changed since the last time I played her, and when she went to live. I like her right now. She's a lot of fun. And like you said, so you've got the lead right now. Crypto Livestream is sitting here. He has 15 card power. He's built a whirling wand. He's got no additional health. So this is all you have to do is jump in onto this target, and this target's going to die.
Yeah, that's actually. I'm pretty sure that's exactly what's happened. Yep,
He's stuck around too long. He's gonna try and ult you. You do end up hitting him with the E. You're waiting for the displace. He uses bubble early. Are you even gonna ult this guy? Q in. You don't even have to ult.
Like, and then see, like, I took all that minion aggro, and I got back 30% of my maximum health for that kill. Like, that's ridiculous. That's crazy.
Yeah, her sustain in lane, if you're securing those kills, is absolutely absurd. So that's the Grim dead again. 5 times.
He's not having a fun game, dude.
He's upset about life right now. And you're just like, come here, Fang Mao. You Q in. He is going to leap away. Reaping dash away from you.
Yeah.
But I mean, you didn't use a ton of mana.
Yeah, she's so mana hungry, dude. But I think that's good. Like it's good that she's mana hungry, because if she wasn't,
you'd pick up 4 kills.
She'd actually be broken.
Yeah.
So I can back and pick up my blue buff now, because since I'm fed, like, I don't have to worry about clearing jungle, and I'm picking up blue buff anyways. I don't want to let 18 minutes happen without picking up the blue buff, because then, like, that would be really bad too.
So you've
Like,
got
you
your
don't want to ever let your buffs level up.
yeah. If I see a level 3 buff, no matter what hero I'm on, I'm picking it up. You've done something wrong at that point. So you've got your blue buff now. You have the extra mana, so she's going to regen mana. Um, you're 5-0-1. You're easily clearing these jungle camps now, trying to get that next level. You're going to back here with 6 points to spend, and I'm assuming you're going to.
I killed the Grim again.
No, stop it. Just for.
This is a valid strategy, by the way, guys. You can just pick one. Oh, that's a physics exploit, by the way. If you know how to do that, you can pretty much just use the Grim Q to go wherever. And then he shields after my ult, so like I don't know what he thought was gonna happen, but I just wait for the shield and then just jump at him.
This is, yeah, like you were saying, this is a valid strategy. Snowballing and picking on a character, this is something you can do. This Grim has got no support this entire game. Nobody's come over to help this guy as you've killed him 6 times or 7 times. You've given yourself a huge card power advantage. So even if they do rotate, they're going to get bullied out of this lane here. I mean, this is there's nothing wrong with what's happening right here. You're outplaying, you're giving yourself an advantage, and you're keeping the lane set and pushed in your favor.
Exactly. And the thing is, it's like, even though I've killed him 4 times in a row, his bounty's super low. Like, and I think respawn timers scale with level too, not game time.
Right.
So since he's really far behind, he's respawning faster than like if I would die. But he's dead, which means he's not farming, he's not putting pressure on the map. His team is probably flaming him super hard right now. He's probably tilted off the face of the earth. And then every time, like, he just wants to get into the lane, he wants to farm, and then every time he shows up, this Countess just jumps on him and kills him instantly. He's not having a fun game, man. Their Ranger is so far behind, so like they're gonna have 0 late game damage if it even gets to late game. But
what do they do at this point? Like, what does that team do to support him? Are you? I mean, if it was you, if you're Crypto, what do you want your team to do? Because we can use this as a learning experience, guys. If you're behind, what do you want your team to do to help assist you if you are that Grim player?
okay, see what they do right here? They shoved the wave up with 0 vision anywhere. Why would you do that?
That was not what you would.
Every single time you've shoved the wave up or done something like that, I've walked at you and killed you. So he's literally doing the same thing again. That's got him killed 5 times already or 4 times already. And then now he can't farm anymore. I'm here at the wave following it back. If he would just freeze the wave, only last hit, put wards inside of his own jungle, and then collapse, then it would be a completely different story. But at this point, it's too far gone. Like, once I killed you 4 times in a row, there's nothing you can do.
Yeah.
Like, Countess snowballs so hard, I'm just one-shotting people.
And they're actually going to surrender. They're going to call it GG. They're getting their butts kicked across the map. They're getting that poor Grim. That poor Grim was just getting. Was just getting
17-3.
picked on so hard. Can you really nerf a hero who's terrible in the hands of majority of players? So, guys, that is Road to Master. Again, we're watching Trix work his way from brand new account to higher elo. You guys can follow his progress on paragon.gg. So what are you at now on Paragon's elo system? There are Paragon to GG's elo. Are you gold? High gold?
I think I am. Let's see. I'm at 1180, and the threshold for gold's at 1100, and then I think it goes to 1300. So I've climbed up a lot from, like, because you start at 1000, and then so I've gained 180, and I think I've actually only played on this account so I played like 10 games yesterday,
right?
Like 14 games yesterday, and before that I played Thursday. So basically, I'm playing on this account like 1 day a week. Right. That way it doesn't level up too quickly. But so I'll probably put some more time into it this week since the queue times have been extra feels bad, man.
Yep. So guys, that is going to be our episode of Road to Master. You just watched Trick. Hopefully you guys get some tips or tricks out of this. We saw unorthodox Muriel build. But then we saw a valid strategy for Countess, guys. Bullying your opponent in lane, building her with health and damage. She becomes a force to be reckoned with. And if you play her properly, she can snowball really quickly and help secure lanes and get very easy kills. So, damn, good game on that Countess there, my friend.
I mean, props to him for not quitting. Like, most people quit.
Yeah. Someone else take this lane. I'm out of here.
They just leave the game, dude. I've seen so many people rage quit. Like you kill someone and then they're like, all right, they got me in lane. Like, oh darn, I got outplayed, and then they show up in lane again. You instantly kill them again. They're just like, fuck it, I'm done with this game.
I can't take it anymore. Guys, if you guys have any questions, though, we're going to post these up on YouTube. If you guys on the YouTubes, I'll have this up tomorrow morning on YouTube. We'll also be on the paragon.gg page as well. But if you guys have any questions for Trix, do you have a Twitter account that people can follow you at?
No, I don't do social media, man.
We're going to start needing you to become a internet celebrity. So we need I need a Twitter. I would say Vine, but Vine's dying, so don't worry about Vine. At least the Twitter. So people can bug you on there. You are streaming. What is your Twitch? Your Twitch?
It's twitch.tv/TrixR4Kitties. So like, that's my Twitch username if you want to follow it. I did stream every single game I played on this account. So all 14 of them, I streamed them. So like, if you want the commentary, there is a VOD. It's probably muted at some points. But I mean, I was told I was entertaining and informative.
I don't believe it.
I can't make any promises on that. Like, I'm a bozo.
I don't believe it. But guys, thank you for watching Road to Masters as Trix annihilates low elo players and works his way up the ranks. Again, brought to you by paragon.gg. We appreciate each and every one of you. Trix, any final words, any final thoughts for these lovely people?
Final thoughts. Play your games out. Don't quit. Halfway through them, you started it. You finish it. Don't make me play another 4v5.
Finish your games, folks. Finish your games. As always, thank you guys for joining us. You guys can follow me on the Instagrams, or on the Twitter at Notch Plays Games, and of course on this channel. I'll be streaming here in just a few minutes. Trix, thanks for coming back, having fun, and being informative, my friend.
No problem.
Guys,
see you next week.
We're going to cut the stream. We'll see you guys next Friday at 6 o'clock, and I'll be live here in just a few minutes.